provided here a summary by rate schedule of what we filed originally and how that was affected by the change that we made today. Each class went down approximately 5% from what we originally filed, and that is just showing the increases among the various classes. And really, that is driven by this, the rate of return that each class of customer is providing. To the extent a class of customers is not providing revenue sufficient to cover the cost, some other class of customer is subsidizing that rate class. So it's an important goal for us and for all, for equity, to move customers to that overall rate of return. And so it's the first column here is the rate of return that's produced today based on the revenues that we have in place today, the rate schedules that are approved by the commission, and the increase required to get to that overall rate of return of 9.6%. So that's when you see different increases among a class, that is what's driving that proposal. We're moving toward cost-based rates and trying to move the base rate and the demand costs, which are really recovering fixed related type costs, into that fixed charge component, and moving so that the energy cost is really more that variable energy that you're using on a daily basis. And per the Public Service Commission's directive, I want to mention this, in our last rate case, they asked us to look at what's called an inverted rate schedule for the residential class. And an inverted rate schedule, as shown here, is where in order to, the philosophy behind it is, in order to provide a signal to customers that energy prices are increasing, in an inverted schedule, that lower block, the second block, is actually higher than the first block, saying, and you have providing that price signal. We've actually, as a company, have said that we would prefer to stay with the flat, what we call the flat rate schedule. All kilowatt hours would be on 7.863 cents per kilowatt hour, but just to know that both of those proposals are included in the application. I've shown here, and the danger in this is this will be, I'm sure, no one's actual bill in the room, but it is based on customer data. So this is just a look at what the increase, as we've proposed it, to a residential class, and a customer, this is a customer that is not using electricity for space heat. Their summer requirements are higher than their winter requirements. Just to point that out, it's not an all-electric customer. And you can see that 21% increase is effectively a $16 increase per month, is what that would equate to. This next one is if you were a residential customer, because we do have many customers here in this area using electricity for heating as well. This would show that that increase is actually about $22 per month. And these are the effects of applying those proposed rates. This is a small general service customer. This would be a small demand meter customer, and showing approximately $100 increase per month. These are way too small to see. Apologize for that. This is really just showing the distribution of that, how that rate schedule would affect the general service customer. And I do want to, mention we recognize the increase. We recognize that 25% increase in rates is not an easy thing to overcome. It is, though, we believe in the long run, the best cost option. If we wait and do something later, if we would have not invested in YGen 3, went out for that all of our requirements, based on the market studies, that increase could have been much higher. So based on that, and recognizing that it is a difficult thing, I just wanted to point out some of the things that are available. We do offer a load control rate. There is an investment on the residential customers, part to put that in place if you're an all-electric customer. We also have rebates available through a conservation program for some small appliances. There's a commercial lighting incentive program that the company offers. And we do have a brochure at a table explaining those, and please contact anyone in our office to talk about those. And I also want to encourage customers to use the balance billing program that we offer. We do see a number of our customers, approximately 30% of our residential customers utilize that program, which really just levelizes your bill. It's not going to change what you pay at the end of an annual period, but it does smooth out those bumps. If you're using air conditioning or heating, it really averages your bill out over the 12 months. There's also assistance available. The Wyoming LEAP Energy Assistance and Weatherization Program is it's really not used. It's so underused in actually every state that we provide service. And this is a federal program where dollars are coming to the state, and they are really there to provide assistance for energy bills. And along with that, if a consumer qualifies for that, along with that, they're qualified for weatherization. And it really is so underutilized. We're really trying to get the word out for people to take a look at that program. We also have some applications available over at the table. That program, all that we do as a utility is really facilitate it, get the benefit through the bill, all of the applications, everything to do with the program is through the Department of Family Services here in Sheridan. And Energy Share of Wyoming is also a valuable resource for assistance, and they are available through the Salvation Army here in Sheridan. And just going to wrap up with really the rate case process. Jay referenced it, and as we move through this process, we filed back in August. The commission under Wyoming statute has 11 months to render a decision on that rate case. The Office of Consumer Advocate, which is a state agency looking out for the interests of consumers, will develop a rate case to the degree and detail that we do in filing the case. We go through a data request process. We provide significant amount of information to them. They develop a case, and that's what this testimony is that they'll be filing next week. They'll look at all of the information and say, this commission is what we believe should happen. So we'll see that next week. On February 8th, then we have the opportunity to reply to that. As we mentioned earlier, the public input hearing where the commission will be taking testimony will be held here in Sheridan on February 10th. And then there is a technical hearing with the commission scheduled for February 23rd through the 25th in Cheyenne. And that's where all of the witnesses that have filed testimony will be presenting that testimony before the commission, and the commission will be asking questions and all parties questions of each other. So the commission then would consider all that testimony and all the exhibits and information filed before rendering a decision. And they'll go through this again on the 10th.